Southern New England's trusted news source, ABC 6 News at Noon.
Good afternoon, I'm Taralynn. Thank you for watching your news at noon. And as we take a look outside, look at that. The rain has stopped, and I'm too happy about it. We're going to check in with ABC 6 Storm Tracker meteorologist Skylar Spindler. She's here with your first forecast. Skylar, welcome. Second day doing the noon.
Yeah, second day here. And, you know, I am glad, like you said, it's starting to clear up outside. So most of that drizzle that's going to start to move out. We have some pockets of dry air moving in. That's going to make those clouds part ways. So that's something to look forward to here at the noon hour. Current conditions outside in Providence, 40 degrees. It does feel like it's 34 degrees, but that's going to change as we get into the afternoon. Here's a look at our weather headlines. We are clearing up today. This next system that we do have moving into the area will be arriving after 7 p.m. tomorrow, but through the weekend, that's going to be a little bit of a rainy, wintry mix. So we're mostly looking at more icier conditions, say north of 90, as you're heading north into the Mass area. So satellite and radar, here's a look at those pockets that we see on the map. So you can see those clouds really starting to part ways, but visibility starting to increase better. You see out, it's 10 miles visibility in Kingley. And you can see that's just going to start to move from west to east across the area. So again, we will start to clear up as we get into the afternoon. Temperatures currently, well, a lot of us are in the 40s. New Bedford coming in at 53 degrees, so a little bit of a warm spot here. But overall in the area, those upper 30s and low 40s for the afternoon right now. Hour by hour to get you into your afternoon and evening commute home. We are going to warm up. We're going to be flirting with the 50s for today. So you can see we'll be at about 49 degrees by 3 p.m. And then we'll start to taper off into the overnight, into those cooler temperatures overnight. But I'm going to have that full forecast and what to expect for the weekend coming up here in just a moment.
Great, Skylar, thank you. Love that you just said flirting with the 50s. Anything with 50s, I'm liking over here. All right, some local stories making headlines this afternoon. A warning from Rhode Island DEM, don't fish from the Blackstone River from Cumberland Hill Road in Woonsocket to the Slater Mill Dam in Pawtucket. That warning comes after the DEM looked into a discharge of partially treated wastewater coming from the Woonsocket Regional Treatment Facility. If you can believe it, it was a video post on Twitter that sparked the DEM's initial interest to check it out. And that treatment plant is operated by a private contractor and treats 10 million gallons of raw sewage daily. The DEM says the plant also made 2 unpermitted discharges last year that are already under investigation, one in March and then another in June. And an indictment in a Charlestown murder case, 26-year-old Alex Rowland is now charged with murder. Rowland is accused of stabbing a 45-year-old woman in her bed with a hunting knife. This took place back in September, and Rhode Island State Police say Rowland confessed to that he did it. Rowland will be arraigned later this month in Washington County Superior Court. And a man is dead after getting hit by a car at an intersection in Plainville, Massachusetts last night. The man is in his 40s and has not yet been identified. It happened at the intersection of Taunton Street and Shepherd Street, and first responders rushed him to Sturdy Memorial Hospital, where he later died from his injuries. Police say the driver of the car remained on scene and is cooperating with police. No charges have been issued against the driver as the investigation of the accident is ongoing. ABC 6 with a focus on our schools. Governor McKee, along with other school officials, announcing funding for multilingual learners across 10 school districts. $8 million is set aside in the budget for that, and according to the governor's office, 24,000 students who speak over 100 languages make up 16% of the student population in the state.
Because what also happened in the past, it was this thought that if you didn't know the language, we'll give you 2 grade levels below, and that would actually open up your opportunities. But we know that if you're giving 2 grade levels below, you're actually teaching 2 grade levels below, right? So it is those tenets that we want the districts to be able to follow.
The education commissioner said some districts may need to add staff members to cover the curriculum. And taking a look over at political news, U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland testified in front of the Senate Judiciary Committee on Wednesday. Among the hot topics, The DOJ's reported investigation into Ticketmaster after the Taylor Swift debacle, and gun laws and the fentanyl crisis. Rhode Island Senator Sheldon Whitehouse is on that committee, and he asked the Attorney General about climate change.
Methane is probably one of the most dangerous greenhouse gases. We see plumes of it miles long floating across the United States. It takes multiple levels of enforcement, federal, state, local, and private, to address these massive leaks. What can you tell me you are doing to assure that there is that coordinated multi-jurisdictional enforcement operation in place?
You are exactly right, and we now have the benefit of overhead commercial satellites, which are able to actually see methane with respect to the infrared spectrum.
The AG went on to say that the DOJ is in the process of establishing a working group with other departments to make use of new scientific tools and funding from the Infrastructure Act to address Senator Whitehouse's concerns. And a Pennsylvania man is due in court this afternoon, a day after he was arrested, accused of packing explosives into a checked bag at Lehigh Valley Airport. ABC's Morgan Norwood is in Allentown with more.
This afternoon.